Welcome to the Cole and Dre podcast. I'm Cole.
And this is Dre. What up, world? We back.
We are back in the building, 2023 first show, and we got a great one. We got To God Be the Glory. My man Cyril White in the building. And we're gonna, you know what? I normally do these introductions, but I actually studied. Let me tell y'all, today I studied, read the man bio. I know a lot about him. I'm actually impressed. But I'm gonna allow you to introduce yourself, and then I'm gonna hype you up to the moon. You're gonna be a star when you leave this place. You're already a star.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's good to be here. Happy 2023 to both of you guys.
Pleasure.
Like I said, I'm Cyril White. You guys that don't know me, I'm a native Houstonian, but I've been living in China off and on the last 20 years, and trying to stay active in the Houston community too, doing a lot of active things in sports, and just being a connection and a resource for young athletes around the world. So that's just pretty much what I do in a nutshell. I know we're going to unpack it as we get into the show tonight.
We're going to unpack a lot of things.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Yeah, welcome to the show,
you, I
man.
appreciate
And you're going to be a whole nother, you ain't just a guest, you're part of the show today. So we got a few things we're going to talk about. But let's start off. How did you get to China? Because as I'm doing my homework on you, I'm like, well, this just skipped to him being in China. You know what I mean? Like, how did you get there?
Okay,
how did that journey start?
Well, you know, I grew up in Houston playing ball, right? So basketball has always been a part of my background. I was at the time it was 1998. I was working with this the sports agent, this guy named Johnny Brady, and I'd been playing basketball in Panama, and so Johnny was like. It was 1998. I could say it was just 99 next year. He was like, "We're about to take this touring basketball team over to China, and we're going to be over there for about a month and a half, and you know, we're going to take two teams of Americans, go tour around, like play some games in China, like the Globetrotters, and you know, you want to be a part of that group." I was like, "Yeah." I jumped at the chance. About 24 years old at the time. Yeah, 24 at the time. I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I want to be doing in my life right now." So that's how I got to China, and then, you know, I played well on that trip, networked in with a lot of people, and that just kind of got the, you know, the start of me becoming a Negro Knees.
What a Negro Knees?
Or Chi-Negro, whichever one you want to say.
Negro Knees.
We would probably say Tiger Woods or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what like Tiger Woods.
Yeah, okay. Basketball Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, but you know, I've definitely been in China, though, for sure, yeah.
How did you like China? When you first went, what was the biggest difference from from America and China?
I like telling this story because, you know, I'm from the South Side.
Right,
you know,
right.
South Side, Houston, Texas.
We ain't going to hold it against you, it's all good.
Starched
cool.
and I, you know, we starched and creased, and so when I went on my first trip, man, I got all this clothes fresh out the cleaners and all this starch, and man, it was nothing like it. I was like, I could have left half of this stuff at home. And that was the biggest thing, just seeing how different people dressed, and, like, you know, my sense of fashion, what I thought I needed to be doing. People weren't even really concerned about that.
You went to China starchy,
I'm starchy, archy, South Side still whole, you know. But and so, you know, we got over there.
Hold on, what year was this?
This was 1999, September.
Yeah, you start Archie.
Coming down. So the people just love basketball over there so much, man. I was like, every game we went to in every city, obscure little small cities, every stadium sold out. I was like, I can get used to this. Let me figure out, you know, how I'm gonna stay over here and kind of stretch this out.
Okay. So,
Dope.
go ahead, Drake.
No. I'm just curious, like, damn, you're basically part of that global NBA movement in a sense, like, you know what I'm saying? Because that was around the time when they was trying to get basketball popular in all over places like China, you know, in Europe and those places like that, because we really didn't have too many foreign players back then, right? Tony Kukoc was just
96.
96 around that time. So, yeah, we just started transitioning to the foreign players. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, that's dope.
So, I met Yao Ming in China in 2001.
Okay.
You know, playing on some CBA exhibition tours. He was playing with the Shanghai Sharks.
Yeah, that's Timmy Campbell.
And so I had Chris Anderson, a Birdman. You know Birdman.
Yeah,
I got you.
So we went to China together for
He
the
from
first
Texas too,
time.
ain't he?
Little small town, Iola, Texas.
Yeah,
Because
he's
he went to
yeah.
Blinn. He went to Blinn Junior
Yeah, he
College.
went to Blinn. Okay, I knew that
He
about
left Blinn Junior College to come on that tour with us.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how I met him. And you know, big, tall country boy. He was always, you know, Swisher House, rapping screw music. You know, he was always with the screw culture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So You know, we're both from Texas. We had all these guys from California because there was some guys all over on that tour. But nah, man. So yeah, that was at the time when the NBA was trying to get this whole thing going, and now you know the NBA they taking teams over to China, and I end up getting that contract later on. Like when the NBA teams come to China, I do like a translation for the teams and stuff like that when they come over.
Oh, so you talk that talk.
Ni hao.
Okay.
Ni hao. Is that hello?
Yes, you got it.
Ni hao.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you know?
Ni hao, 我的美国朋友. Hello, my American friends. 我很高兴来到这里. Very happy to be here today.
Okay, nigga, you talk that shit for real?
Ni hao.
So, hold on, let me look at you. You married?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
You trying to say how many? You trying to say how many Chinese?
Hey, man. No, we ain't gonna do that, man. Listen, man. Listen, that's why I asked were you married.
That
you know?
definitely was the question, though. That was the question he was going.
Well, of course, there was a question. I wanted to know, see, I was in the Navy.
There you go.
And, they would tell, it's old jokes in the Navy, like, like black men have tails and shit like that. Like,
Well, hey,
all kinds of
it's
crazy
like
things.
this. So, and I going back and forth to China. Yeah, I come back and, boys be like, oh, see, man, I know you got all kind of kids in them third world countries. Like, nah, I mean, like, there are more effective ways for me to use this communication, man. I'm actually trying to extract some of this money out of China. The USA owes China trillions, right?
Right.
Okay, why you think I want to go live in China for that long?
Okay.
Because I know that's why, we can set up. Me and Stephon Marbury, I mean, hey, we going to stay in China.
How did that come about? Let's talk. But before we get into Stephon Marbury, I noticed you had, I think it was China. You had the China League, the Panama League, and there was another one. And you had the golf and basketball. What was the third one? China, Panama.
So under To God Be the Glory Sports, what we've done is we've developed some media platforms to just keep track of basketball in different parts of the world. So we have ChinaHoops.net.
Yeah, that's what it was.
AfricaHoops.com.
Yes.
IndiaHoops.net. PuertoRicoHoops.net. And GolfingHoops.com. So Golf and Hoops is really more so, all these ex-basketball players, ex-NBA players, they all like to play golf. When Moses Malone was alive, I play with Moses all the time when I come home from China. Ricky Pierce, these ex-NBA guys, that's who really got me into playing golf. So I travel around and try to hook up with these ex-guys and just test my golf game. So those platforms are just really about trying to reach those. Hey, Africa got 1 billion people on that continent.
Facts.
India got 1 billion people on that continent. So these are places where the NBA is trying to set up shop, and I just want to be at the front of that.
Right. So you're at the forefront of it. Do you think that they're going to eventually have teams all over the world?
Yes.
Absolutely. So right now, in March of 2020, that's when they launched the Basketball Africa League. So they put teams in 12 countries on that continent. And so it's been slowed down by COVID. I know y'all saw J. Cole.
Right.
Yeah.
J. Cole went over and hooped in that league. This is about to be the third go-round. Now, the plan was for the league to go 3 or 4 months. So my company we started AfricaHoops.com, AfricaHoops.net, Africa Basketball, so we can get all the resumes on guys that want to go hoop in that league from around all these top basketball players, and we can connect them into the director of talent identification, and again, just be at the front of that agency process of getting guys jobs over these different markets.
My question to you is that like a G League style? Or was it? They don't call it G League anymore, do they? Is it a G League style league, or is it like NBA level just in Africa? Like,
Well, I'll tell you what. If you want to compare the levels, I would have to say closer to the G League level because the NBA. I mean, that's just the best of the best.
Facts.
I think what the NBA is doing. Obviously, I talked about the numbers. It's 1 billion people.
Right.
It's 1 billion people
It just
on
makes
that continent. So you have to try to mobilize and monetize that number of of interested people.
Right.
I mean, it just only makes sense. So the talent level is going to grow as the league grows, but I think right now it's just about trying to cash in.
Right.
Hey man, I didn't kind of went into business with a few guys on the show, so I think you got my attention.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory, man. Hey man, listen, man. I think we might be on to something, Drake.
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, everything is going global. The reach now for things that happen in here, like especially in sports, because I think at the NFL, we'll probably have a team in Germany somewhere here coming.
I think we'll have one in London. I think
somewhere around there where they play it all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because clearly the travel is only 1 week at a time. So I mean, I think it'll be a little bit easier versus the NBA doing something like that. You know, in my opinion, I think the NFL would be first. But man,
I think the NBA will be first.
You know, the NBA is like, say, the NBA, when they set up Basketball Africa League, that is the NBA's product on that continent. Right. So, you know, they're tied into partnerships there. So they got a revenue share and all of that. So India is next, in my opinion. They brought the Sacramento Kings and the Indiana Pacers to Mumbai to play one exhibition game. Of course, the game was super sold out. People hanging from the balcony. I mean, your tickets going for, $2,000-$3,000 in for one exhibition game.
Really?
So, I mean, it's one game.
How
game
often
only,
you would get an NBA game
right.
in that part of the world at all? You know what I'm saying? That level of basketball. But I mean, I think media and what's good about social media is that you're able to touch people all over the world at the click of a button now. Like, you can expose people to all different things. Like, that's the good in social media. I just don't like all the other stuff that comes on social media.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It only makes sense though if you're not trying to go global. What you doing it for?
Right. Exactly. Especially with a game like basketball.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So you were talking about golf. Man, shout out to Bonzi Wells. Bonzi threw his career away, and I hate to say this on you because I like Bonzi. Bonzi good dude.
He threw his career away?
Yes, because Bonzi wanted to be a professional golfer instead of being a basketball player. He really was like, dude, you wanted to golf every day. Like, dude, you are a basketball player. He didn't give a damn about preparing for basketball. And you know what?
I know, I haven't played with Bonzi. I played with Mike James, and
Mike lived across the street from me. I know Mike real well.
So me and Mike play all the time, and Mike and Bonzi play. He talk about how good of a golfer Bonzi is.
Bonzi should be a great damn golfer.
and Mike James,
I don't know Josh Smith.
Yeah, Josh Smith.
I don't know him,
Josh
man.
Smith's an ex-NBA player. He
Atlanta.
at North Carolina A&T. Played, won the championship, and then after he won all the NBA championship player at that time, he went back to college on a golf scholarship.
Really?
At age 36.
J.R. Smith. You talking about Josh Smith. J.R. Smith.
I'm
like, hold on, I don't know no Josh Smith.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. We let's don't do that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there.
Shout out to J.R. What up, bro?
Shout out to J.R. Smith. Hey, Lonnie, listen, man. I just made up. Don't do that. Like, come on, man.
J.R. Smith.
Oh man, don't do it, man.
We are live, Lonnie.
Yeah, like this is live. We can't edit this, so stop. You know what I mean? God damn. Excuse me. Y'all know how we talk on our show. We just relax. Yo, what's up, man? Yeah, this dude here, man, a piece of work, man. I did not know that though.
Yeah.
What the hell was J.R. Smith on that time when he just ran around with the damn ball at the end of the game? What was he on? What? LeBron was looking at him like.
LeBron should have missed the free. Who shot the free throw? LeBron?
I don't remember in that game. Who shot the free? Was it LeBron?
He should have made the free throw.
Oh.
You should be thanking J.R. for getting the rebound. Give us another chance. What you mean?
Okay.
Went right back up with the problem.
Man, you know how many times on the clock. Katie was right there.
Man, J.R. Smith was probably higher than him.
Could have been. Could have been. But,
He was like Dre over there. You know what, Dre though? I gotta give it to you, man. I tell the audience, man. Like I'm finding that more and more people that smoke weed work out more. I don't know what the correlation of that is. It's kind of weird to me, but it's like people that smoke weed are more in shape right now. Is that weird to you? Like,
I mean, because we getting the flower from the earth, my man.
Okay.
It's
Don't
really,
go to Russia.
It's really, man. I'm not. I don't plan on it. And I want.
Don't do that.
But that was cold. Literally cold.
Shots fired.
I mean,
so what?
weed is herb.
We ain't gonna do that.
That shit should be legal everywhere in the world. Anything come out the ground should be legal.
What do you see a lot of the talent? Because I know you're taking talent from here and, kind of giving those guys an initiation all over the world. Mm-hmm. But where do you see the most talent coming from just in the world right now, outside the United States?
Really from like the European countries. Like you see, what Luka Doncic is doing in the NBA.
He's tough.
She's very tough. I got a story. I took a team to China. Some really good players from Houston. A lot of good players. we played a Yugoslavian team, man, and it was like all these guys was like Vlade Divac. They were just big and strong, setting picks, shooters, and we lost 8 games in a row on this trip to China. So
We live. We supposed to edit that out.
No, I
No,
can't.
I'm
because
just messing
I
with
got to
you.
tell the truth because, and this is important for American guys to hear. It's just because you're coming from America does not mean you're just gonna go across the globe and go dominate. You have to put that work in and be prepared. But those Yugoslavian guys, those Eastern Europeans, they practice 2 a day. Their work ethic is just a lot different, and they just they don't have as many distractions naturally in their culture. I think that's one of the biggest things. That's what's really getting us on this side. Like I tell people in China, practicing two times a day, 6 days a week. It's none of that getting off and cruising around or going to the Galleria or going to hang. It's none of that. You focused on what you're doing, and it's gonna be the proof gonna be in the pudding.
Okay.
But that creates discipline, though. I'm sure. I mean, like you said, distractions will sidetrack a lot of people. Like a lot of people, like
For
easy
sure.
distractions. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that. Like he said, it's not in our culture, but over here we got some everything that make us go ping, 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 ping,
Yeah.
ping, 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 ping.
And that's what I got to get these guys ready, man. Like right now, China.
How do you combat that though with young kids that you work with?
Just keeping it real.
Right.
Like, just not sugarcoating it. Cause I'm now at the stage where, I've taken so many guys back and forth to China, so many guys. At last count, it was 285, something like that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's basketball players. I had another at the start of COVID. I had 86 coaches working in China from all around America that I set up with jobs to be over there training kids and teaching them in basketball camp style academies. If you're not self-disciplined, if you can't handle it without being coddled, you can't make it overseas. And some of these guys, oh man, I'm not gonna go to. You know how many phone calls I got? People like, I'm not gonna go to college. I'm just gonna go overseas. Like, just gonna go overseas. Like, it's so competitive. And I think a lot of these young kids just think I can just go play overseas. Like, they're just not gonna be as good as me. Like,
I think what some of those kids don't understand is the physicalness of the game. Like, it ain't a lot of contact in America's game like it is probably in a European game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think.
Nah,
I
the
think
European game-
we have more contact here.
Nah, a lot of
Luka
grown
Doncic
men.
just came out and said how much easier it is scoring. You saw this article say he said so much easier scoring in the NBA than it is
game.
over in overseas in the FIBA.
It ain't even that though. It's see, this is the difference between today's game and the game that, in my opinion. Let's talk basketball a little bit. I'm gonna
I'm with
let's
you.
train. We talking about let's talk
I
basketball.
like it.
The difference between me and that I feel that the game has changed is like back then the mindset you had to have. The game was played a lot different. It was inside out mentality. It was played a lot different. So even hooping in the projects in our era coming up, man, you better not be out there shooting, jumping, take the ball to the hole. Take the ball to the hole. But the game was different. You had people pounding you in that hole. Every time you got down, there's somebody there
That's why I really
to do
wish,
something to you.
I really
Versus nowadays when these kids turn the corner, ain't no rim protectors now. The big man want to shoot threes. He on the 3-point line in the corner somewhere. So they walk into the rim getting layups and shooting 50-foot threes. So the game is totally different. Of course scoring going to be up. Of course numbers going to be up. The mentality is different. So like he said, when you come from overseas, you playing this physical man's game. They still playing bully ball in a sense. Screens feel a little different. They doing them properly, working on fundamental stuff. And, these dudes in the NBA, they been on they just don't, it's a different game, bro. So I like certain players nowadays, but I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't have lasted. Not because of, you had to be mentally tough. I think it was more mental back then than it is now. Kids have a lot of skill sets right now, and they way more athletic, in my opinion, on certain levels. But the mentality you had to play back then,
I think the game is always going to evolve, no matter what game.
of course, and it should.
No matter what sport it is, it's going to evolve because everybody has, hindsight from, the last, what do you call it? The era before them, right?
Right.
But I really would wish, I would love to have seen Steph Curry play. And I mean, he still the purest shooter we probably ever seen. But going to the hole like he do, and I would love to see him going in there against Lambeer and Parrish and Elijah Warren and these guys.
But what you have to ask yourself though, would he get the opportunities? Because we consider Reggie Miller a 3-point threat, but I think the most he ever took in the game was 7. Like he only averaged like 1 or 2 threes a game. Like you got to think when you look at those
I
numbers,
never
like
thought about that.
the
Like,
attempts
volume
wasn't there.
shooting, yeah,
Like
the
they wasn't
attempts,
getting that many attempts at the basketball. Like that wasn't the game. And that's why I be like, you can argue about errors in basketball versus arguing about errors in any other sport because basketball, one of the things, man, if you can hoop, you can hoop.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be dropped off anywhere if you can hoop. Your game really that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, could Charles Barkley play in this era? Yeah. But what if he had a place to fit in because he wasn't a stretch four?
This is a great
You see what I'm
discussion,
saying?
man, because, like I say, how do you translate this to the young fellas? Since I've been home from China, like I said, I haven't been able to travel back since COVID. So
They ain't playing that.
just this past, what was it, August, I started working with this ex-NBA guy, Orion Green. He used to play for the Celtics and went to University of Florida. He bought an ABA team. The
Point
ABA
guard
still.
for-
Yeah.
With Kim know him?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. His point guard team. Yeah,
OG,
okay.
yeah, you remember
They
him.
came back for him.
Wow, you
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they came
so
back for dude.
He's living
Okay,
out. He's
Dre.
living out here.
Work.
Yeah, well, you got some knowledge, man.
Yeah, between Dre and Lonnie, they some real sports statisticians and everything.
So OG, he played in China with me on a few tours. We developed a relationship over the years, and so he bought this ABA team. So I was like,
congrats.
okay,
Let's go, bro.
I'll help you, put it together, general manager for you. Just so we put together a team, and this our first season. We 3 wins and 5 losses right now, but we've got some good young guys, man, and that's what I'm trying. Just like C. White, can you help us go overseas? I can help the right ones go overseas,
Right.
cause it's not like it's just applications. They're not taking applications.
Right.
right.
And I try to tell you, more of these general managers, they're trying to find a reason to weed you out, not include you in. The to God be the glory way is to kind of polish you up and get you to be one of the ones they're going to select. But the attitude in the pro sports world, they're not giving you no breaks. They're not doing this gratuitously. Money is on the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts. The bottom line is
Well,
everything.
we have a
You're a product.
we have
That's right.
we've got a certain ego as Americans that people don't realize we have. You know what I mean? And I think it's been accepted over the world. Let me think about how I say this. I think it's a situation where
China.
earlier on it was accepted over the world that we were better. Like literally, I've traveled. And now it's all like just like it is in college sports and basketball and football and everything else. There's parity over the world because we live in a global world. So everybody has access to a lot of the same information. Everybody's training. So now it becomes more about how disciplined are you, because we all have access to that same information, that same those same tools and same equipment. I think you took cryogenics that you took over?
Crowd therapy.
Right.
Sure,
so that was
sure.
something that was pretty much native to us.
Right.
And so when people get these little things that make a big difference, and I tell people, if you look at, Olympic sprinters in the 100, the difference between the guy that's first and the guy that's 8th is a tenth of a second.
Oh man, right. You're
Right. I mean,
like that.
yeah,
Right.
that's
right.
it. So tell us about the crowd therapy.
Yeah.
Bringing it over there, and how did you discover it to start
I appreciate that. Nah, for people who don't know, crowd therapy is a rehab treatment. It freezes your body down, takes it from the natural temperature of 98.6. It freezes it down to about 57 degrees in a 3-minute treatment inside of a full body chamber using liquid nitrogen gas to freeze your body down. And so as your body warms back up to the 98.6 normal temperature, it's pushing out all these toxins. It's helping you with stiffness and arthritis and all types of medical benefits. How I discovered it is through sports rehab. My son's playing football, and he was always looking for some treatments and stuff, and I found out about the crowd therapy. And so the distributors, they said, well, you got office in Shanghai? Yeah, I got office in Shanghai. It's like, this thing is not in China yet. And I was like, well, this is a great opportunity. So I got the distribution rights to take and go over and start selling the crowd units to all of the teams in China basketball, the China Pro Sports Soccer League. So really just being in China brought a lot of those type of opportunities too, like that. So now I got 50 plus machines inside China and freezing Asia. freezing Asia down in crowd machines.
That's
I
dope.
like that.
That's
Have you ever tried that, Trey?
No, I have not tried that.
I've heard of it. I mean, so obviously you've done it.
Yeah. It's,
So I need to try it for my knees.
it's
They
3
breaking
minutes.
down, man.
But is it something like cold tub in a sense? But
It is. So, with the cold tub treatment, that's supposed to be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. This is 3 minutes, and you don't get wet like
okay,
that.
Yeah, I got you.
So you just basically, you got to strip down. They give you some socks and some gloves. You keep your little shorts on, underwear, however you want to do it, and just go in there. 3 minutes, man. You come out there, you be feeling like a new man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm telling you, you'll love it.
What's the cost on that? I think I'm gonna go try it.
It's like $30 for a 3-minute session.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. Where can I try it? You got some here?
It's a place called iCryo on I-10 and Taylor. They have a good, pretty good unit over there. I take my
seen
son
that
to.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen
iCryo.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
I never knew what it was, but
that,
now I know.
That seemed painful though.
It's gonna sting a little bit.
At first, it's like getting in that ice tub. You get in that ice tub. Some people can't even stand having ice on their ankle.
I can't do it. I tried it before, and I
My son,
was
he swears
submerged.
by it.
and
Like,
I couldn't-
he
I just-
loves that thing.
Right.
He loves that thing. And then,
It's a mindset then.
these athletes, they know what they body getting
But
out
the
of
ice,
it, man.
that cold is what take the swelling down, keep the swelling down, inflammation, stuff like that.
That's right. That's right.
You did that before, Dre?
Or you can choose to not eat meat all the time, and you won't have that stuff either, so you can be a vegan. And,
I mean, we got our producer who is just really active. Do you want to get on the damn show?
Let them tell you the difference in the demand for it's only 2 Americans.
Okay.
But we are live, though.
Yeah, we like live, man. This ain't no shit we can
I
cut,
like
man.
it, man.
But it's my mind. Hey, man, y'all shout out to Lonnie Green, man. If y'all don't know who Lonnie Green is, a side producer, and he looks at his phone like this. That's my man. It's my partner, though, man. It's like a brother to me.
He was wanting me to tell the people about the jobs in China, and so he did his homework too. I see he did his homework, knowing that it's only 2 Americans per team. It is only 2 Americans, and they usually get one big man and 1 guard. And then I don't even know if you knew this part, LG, but the guard and the big man, they can't be on the court at the same time until the 4th quarter.
Really?
You can only have 1 American on the court at a time until the 4th quarter. They got a minute allotment like that. So when I was in Marbury, we had Stephon Marbury and Randolph Morris. Remember Randolph Morris from Kentucky? Mm-hmm. So we were winning all the championships together, and we usually start Randy off, and then Marbury come in the 2nd, and then the 3rd, and then the 4th. It'll just
Wow.
So that's interesting. So like when he went to China, I was thinking, I was like, he's crazy as hell. Huh?
I'm talking about Randall Moore. He's an early stretch forward. He can shoot a little bit.
Oh yeah. He was
Yeah, I
nice,
remember him,
16.
yeah.
He could play. Yeah, he was
Yeah, I know
perfect.
exactly
Perfect
what
for
you're
China.
Yeah.
Perfect for China. Yeah.
He'd have been perfect in today's NBA too, if he came on now.
And that's the thing. It's like, and that's why some guys like, man, you better just stay in China and get this money.
Right.
Stop trying to go back to. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I wasn't even thinking to say this, but my guy out of Houston Yates, Joe Young, the Michael Young's son, Joe Young.
Mm-hmm.
This guy here is a gun. This guy was the MVP of the All-Star game in China. This guy is a gun. But if he comes back to the NBA, with all due respect, Joe, if you're listening, because I didn't talk to you about this, Joe. I mean, they're going to put you in a 10, 11, 12 shot spot on their roster. And he is a guy that can score 30, 40, 50 points a game in the right situation. So, it's all about finding the right niche. And that's what I like about being in China, is that sports psychology part, trying to really get guys to understand, look, you need to stick where you're going to get your money and take that ego out of it.
Right.
So what is because I saw one of the other things you do is, you get them basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Not sponsorship, endorsement deals and things of those nature. So obviously, I can't say obviously, but I mean, what's the biggest difference? What's the money difference in an endorsement deal in China and here?
Well, how can I say? It's 330 million people in the U.S. population.
Mm-hmm.
It's 625 million Chinese basketball fans.
Mm.
So just by the sheer volume, when we set out to, like with this app that I'm a partner in with our goal is to have a 1% market share with that app. and we're scaling towards a 1% market share of 625 million people.
6.25 million.
And
people.
there you go. And
Right, I
whatever-
get it real quickly.
That's really what playing in the China market is about. Is
It's a
that
numbers game.
Yeah, because we went over there with the Starberry brand, getting it distributed into 4,800 stores. That was huge to get 4,800 stores across China to carry the Starberry brand. Like that.
What all did he have? I know he had shoes.
Yeah, so we, the apparel line, the whole full apparel line, and then as the name grew around China, we were able to start. Like I said, I brought you guys the electronics, the wireless speakers and
Bearing gifts.
battery
Starberry,
chargers.
baby. Hey, man, the man came bearing gifts. Thank you, man.
To God be the glory.
To God be the glory,
we
man.
can't show up empty-handed, baby.
Man, we so appreciate
We
it.
sure
And,
appreciate that, man. That's a beautiful thing.
We start getting
Since
into
I ain't
it.
getting up for Christmas, I thank you, man.
There you go.
So yeah,
Shout out to Stephon Marbury too, man.
so
Love you, Steph.
man, tough.
Tough.
Hey, I'm a fan of good work. You tough, Steph. Hey man, listen,
I
we
wish
talking,
you and
man.
KG could have worked
Listen,
out,
man.
though.
Listen, man.
I wish him and KG could have worked
They
out.
was dynamic, huh?
Man, that'd have
Yeah.
been nice. I want to see a couple more years of that.
And you know what's cold? Like, and this is just this true story. Like, I was so busy. I didn't hook up with Steph to 2010.
I thought it was 2008.
No, 2008. That's when I just finished building my gym.
Okay.
Just finished building the To God Be the Glory Center. I was so entrenched in all of that stuff. And so Stephon went to China. I saw when he went to China. I was coming off of a tour, and I was like, I need to hook up with him. I mean, we was on the plane. I was like, I need to hook up with Steph. I got back. About 2 weeks later, Steph sent me a message. She's like, yo, you're the missing piece of my puzzle. I seen some video of you on YouTube speaking Chinese. It's like, I know you the guy. I need to come work with me. Like, huh? How you get my number, man? And so that's just how it went.
Yeah.
That's just how it went. But I had never really seen Steph hoop. Like you said, I wanted to see him hoop with KG.
Right.
I never really seen him play. So when I finally got to China, I remember going to the first practice, and that was really my first time just really seeing that boy get down.
Right. He was dope.
He really
I mean, he a
was.
dog. He really
was.
unstoppable one-on-one.
Yeah, he was dope.
Which most players are though.
Man, that boy, he really has something special. Yeah, you're right.
But he went, took his brand to China, became a star, and they supported it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
how many championships he won over there?
3,
Yeah.
all in Beijing. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
beautiful
got a
thing.
statue erected at after the first championship. It was the first one in Beijing history, so they just went crazy.
I would imagine.
I mean, it was
He
nuts.
probably was bigger than Godzilla at the time. Like,
It
you know
was
what I'm
nuts.
saying?
It was
Godzilla
nuts.
is Japanese.
I mean, either way. I'm sorry, no
That's-
disrespect.
that's-
Yeah, it's Japanese.
So it was about
Was
a week later. It was about a week later, and the people were calling from huh?
Go ahead, the people
What
who
he
call
say? What he
it.
say?
Don't listen to them, man. Listen, man, y'all are terrible interviewers, man.
No, I love it, man. I love it. Dre
on, you
and
said it
Cole,
was-
baby.
it was
Dre
like-
and Cole
that
in
was- thank you,
2023, baby.
Because like, hey, man.
Hold
you
on,
know,
you still? I'm listening to the
My
story.
bad.
So like a week later.
About a week later, so after the championship, after the championship, it was just nuts in Beijing. I mean, it was just like the biggest. And in a country like China, I got to speak on this too, because, America, we got the Super Bowl, we got the NBA Finals, we have World Series, college football. I mean, we have so many sport, like it's like a sports culture here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
China is a communist country. There's only one sports channel, CCTV. It's only one sports channel. All the rest of stuff is dedicated to non-sports stuff. Meaning, I was surprised to see just how much it was just such a big deal. So about a week later, they hit Stephon, our Chinese manager. They hit Rock, and it was like, hey, they want to give you a statue. The people have voted. It's like over 1 million people have signed a petition. They want to give you a statue at the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
And
that's big.
it was totally unsolicited, totally unplanned for. And you know, from a spiritual standpoint, it's another like a to God be the glory moment. You know, it's just like God will do exceedingly above what you ask or expect. And Stefan is also, you know, extremely spiritual God too, like that, which I learned from living so closely to him like that. Yeah.
Wow.
That's dope. That's a dope story.
Yeah, it's a hell of a dope story.
In China, right?
Right.
Yeah. This,
But I mean, shit, to be a star on 2 continents, I mean, can't too many people say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
I'm trying. That's what I'm sitting there thinking, Dre. That's crazy. You said. I'm sitting there saying,
I
what
never thought of
other
it like that either.
player has had an impact on 2 different?
right, because he
two
wasn't no,
different
yeah, I
countries
mean,
like
probably
that.
a couple baseball players maybe, but, you know, he wasn't no regular.
Who was Jelly
regular.
Bean?
Well, not like
He
that.
wasn't
Not
no
like
dad.
that.
Come on, hey.
Come on,
But you
man.
know, hey, I
He
tell you
more
what.
famous for being Kobe daddy. No disrespect to the Jelly Bean, but
And you know what,
Come on,
gents?
man.
You know what, too? Like how y'all say that. So, like, in the middle of the process of working with Stefan, having so much success, having taken so many other Americans to China before getting a chance to work with him, I was like, midway through the process, like, God, like, when am I going to get another Marbury? And then in my management mind, I'll start thinking, I can create one. I got the blueprint from having worked with Starberry. Everybody knows. All I need is the next NBA guy about 31, 32 to come here, which I thought was gonna be Allen Iverson. I thought me and AI were gonna work
that would have
together.
been a great.
Yeah, it didn't. You know, but again, what I learned is only because of the way Stefan was looking at it. Like, he's still there right now coaching. I'm in here.
Really?
I'm in here in the podcast in Houston with you guys. Marbury is in China right now on the sideline coaching the Beijing basketball team right now. So he never even got out of there.
You know who had another opportunity, and I talked to him about it? That was Steve Francis. He went over there and played a little while,
did.
and Steve just didn't like it.
Sure
You
did.
know, 'cause he was like, it just wasn't his thing.
And that's why it's the difficulty. It's like you gotta
'Cause it
find
ain't
a
for
guy
everybody.
that's all in. You know,
Right,
everybody's
right.
might just get the money. I don't see how you like this. I can't do this. So I'm like, okay, this was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, 'cause
So
you gotta,
Steve was already rich. Well, hell, Marbury's already
That's what
rich.
I'm
when he
saying.
went.
Right.
That's
But
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
you know, but Marbury, like, he probably adapted to the culture a little bit faster. I'm sure the life is much different over there.
And that's what it is. You have
Yeah.
to be open minded. And Stefan over there eating with chopsticks, and
Right.
you know he's riding the subway and just doing all of the stuff to make himself like
part of the culture.
yeah. And so I think that's what did it. I tell everybody he got up under them people and lifted them up. See, a lot of them NBA guys coming in try to put themselves over everything. I ain't practicing. I ain't doing that. Nah. He got up under the load and lifted it, and that's why it was just like,
Right.
yeah,
3 shifts later.
you got it, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Statue time, baby.
That's interesting. So, what do you look for in an endorsement deal? Like, I mean, like, so is it a situation where they come to you, or is it a situation where you take a look at the guy and say, I think you fit this brand or you fit that brand? How do you match that up? And I mean, the reason I'm asking that question because I think, well, I already asked that question. Let me let you answer that because I have another question I should have asked you beforehand. And I'm gonna just tell you that one. Keep that in mind. What I just asked you.
Okay.
But you know they say they made hoes, so make another hoe. So you see how you gonna make another Marbury.
So you right. I try. I wanted to. It is a matchmaking process, though. You know, right now, the NCAA started the name, image, and likeness thing.
Yep.
So I quickly moved into that space, having, you know, the Rolodex of companies in China mostly. That's my leverage, is that I want to take those companies from China because, you know, we got Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Puma. Those are American brands, but no one knows Anta, Peak, 361, Xtep, Li Ning. These are huge companies inside of China. I love our producer.
Right.
D Wade is connected to Li Ning. So a lot of these shoe companies, they do have a few NBA guys. So with the name, image, and likeness, I was like, well, it's new to these Chinese brands, new to them because college players haven't been able to get paid. It's been illegal to pay college players. So when I was presenting a lot of these deals, I was like, is that even legal? So again, it put me at the front of being able to set up a couple of deals. So, you know, I have Antoine Davis.
Okay.
Antoine Davis is he's about to break all the NCAA scoring records right now. He's number 6 all time right now. by the end of the season, he's on pace to be #1 over Pistol Pete Maravich all time. And so we have, yes, Coach Mike Davis, son, Detroit Mercy. And I have Armand Franklin, who was
heard of him.
He's a starter at University of Virginia. He's and I also have the quarterback from Kansas, Jalen Daniels, who just broke all kind of records in the Liberty Bowl. So what I'm doing with these guys is working with the Chinese company Global.
Okay.
We're making you saw the Hatter show. I was it's the ball we made with Stephon Marbury. It lights up and glows under camera lighting. It's real big on social media. So we help these young guys trademark their logos and stuff.
Okay.
Start so they can have some intellectual property and start custom making the product. And so they, paying them some money up front, and then they getting royalty payment. Just showing them how to be their own Michael Jordan.
Right. Love it, man.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
So how does that translate in China like that? So do they get footage of the American athlete to understand like what's going on over here? Like, I mean, because you said they only have one sports station. How does that work? Do they like stream it? How does that work with viewership and stuff like that?
Right. So I have this app.
I kind of bounced back a little bit, but I was
No.
curious.
Yeah. So the app that I have hoops.net.cn, hoops.net.cn. It's a app in English and Chinese. And what we do is we get all this exclusive sports content from around the world, different games, different leagues, different training videos, lifestyle videos, documentaries, and then we upload, we have all this content inside the app. So that's available exclusively to the people in China. It's another way they can see footage and stuff from around the world because, again, they only have CCTV5, one channel.
Wow. 1 billion people, one channel, one sports channel.
Right, CCTV5.
It's funny, though, because
they're not raising that, though.
Right, they're not raising it. And
right.
I was reading an article talking about what we see on Instagram and TikTok. So much different from what they see. They basically have a different AI system to, talk more about education and things of that nature, whereas what we're getting is all of the funny stuff and all of that.
And I'm confused why nobody really feel a way about that. Like for here, like what I'm saying, like I don't understand why we don't feel a way about that.
That's so interesting you say that.
I'm gonna answer this question. I think a lot of times people don't feel a way about things that's happening to them in the present until they recognize it 20 years down the line.
Right.
And so what China, to me, has done is say, you know what, we're gonna brainwash y'all. We can't beat you militarily. We can't beat you economically. But if we brainwash you and dilute your attention span, hell, it's happening to me on Instagram, and I said that's why I didn't want it. What happens is when you start to look at nothing but shorts, I tried to look. It took me 2 days to look at a movie twice now.
Cut your attention span.
And so it cuts your attention span. I'm seeing it happen to me, and I'm like, I get it. This is psychological warfare that they're doing for 25, 30 years down the line. I don't know why nobody has a problem with this shit.
Nah, that's interesting because it's done to us in a lot of ways. Like you talk about TikTok. I think I always talk about music. I always talk about music's impact on the world, and especially like love songs, and how many children were made to love songs, how many relationships and commitments were made based on love songs. The way songs made people feel about and make commitments that they may not have even kept. Right? You just got caught up in the moment of an influence. So yeah, you're right. You're right.
Caught up in a little Jodeci
moment. Jodeci.
Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah. Boy, look here.
Y'all tough.
Hey man, I don't even know a love song that's out right now. A new love song. I don't. Drake.
And ain't nobody in love either. Nobody is in love.
Yeah, like this is a strange thing that's going on in our society. And do you know one of the fastest closing businesses in the United States right now? You know what it is? Take a guess. What do you think? You said to God be the glory. Churches, man. If you go look online for commercial buildings, you will see so many churches that have closed. We have lost our way with faith. And, whether you're a believer or a non-believer, at the end of the day, what happens is when you take that structure away, we see a moral, what's the word? We're eroding morally.
Disconnect.
A total moral
erosion,
disconnect.
Yeah.
And I don't think we really, right now, are going to understand the consequences to this until, 30, 40, 50 years later. because if you take a look at what happened in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even looking at family right now, family is totally different from what we grew up with.
Absolutely.
Even if you had a single mother in the 80s or the 70s or 90s, single mothers now are totally different than what we grew up with, because a lot of these kids, have a substitute in this.
Yep.
So, I see these kids. They have a whole substitute right here. I don't care what restaurant you go to. When you see kids, I watch. They eating, parents are eating, and everybody's eating, and the kids are right there on the phone.
Right, brother.
There's a total disconnect, and that's something that we ought to really start to pay attention to. And this is where, when we start to lose our religion, we start to break down the family. We start to break down morally. We start to break down ethically. And, it's things like that are scary. Like,
facts.
it's scary right now.
Facts. I mean, because, like I said, I deal with kids myself. And like I said, talking to some of these kids, man, like, got one little kid, man, he be on social media posting money, but every time he'd be like, man, let me hold something. Like, man, let me get some of that money you got.
Posting money.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but, I mean, but, I can only imagine, what I'm saying? Like, my thoughts of where it came from or whatever, but that's just me. But I'm not going to talk about that. But, it's one of those things I'd be like, if you're in a situation, man, that's not the way to get up out of it. Like that little moment for whatever made you do that, just for that picture, was it really worth it?
And like you say, working with young people, how you're talking about churches closing, this moral erosion. I've always looked at To God Be the Glory as a ministry in motion. It is. I've always looked at it. It's a ministry in motion, because I get to be in these basketball gyms and these different facilities, and what is it? We say we are the church. Like, people go to church and just gather, forsake not their assembly, but in actuality, man, it's out there in the field. And I'm always sensitive about guys where they are, because that's going to affect what they do in their life. Like you talk about, every guy's not going to get a chance to play overseas and make money from the actual sport of basketball. But I've tried to, fine tune my leadership skills to push guys into ways where they can make some money. If it's not about the hoop, doing assessment about what can you do well, and then trying to connect you with them on network, so you don't have to take no penitentiary risk about nothing.
Right, facts.
It's too many things. Like, you guys got this great CDL school and stuff like that for guys to make money.
Grady Hall and CDL school hook you up.
Yeah,
we got job placement right away, man. A lot of these guys are starting out.
I got a good buddy of mine. He got a security company nationwide. He always call me, hey man, I need guys to go do a fire watch here. I need guys to go just watch a building. Any way you can make you some money that's legal, guys, you need to fall into
Absolutely.
that, and one thing will lead to another.
Plug your guy again. What's his name? Nationwide.
Nationwide. Check him out. Nationwide Investigations and Security. What's up, Alan? That's one of my golf buddies. He on Golf and Hoops.
Okay.
But no, he employ a lot of these young guys. He always calling me up, giving these guys an opportunity to go out and make them some money. Simple stuff. Small, easy security jobs and stuff like that. And you told me about this CDL. I've just found it all these guys get attracted to God Be the Glory sports because they want to hoop and they want to play sports. But again, more of them going to need something to do other than just play basketball. That's the thing.
I wonder if you ran into my son, man. He be hooping a lot of circus, man. Dude, a little kid named Jalen Stevens. He probably know him from Mike.
His name sounds familiar.
Yeah, his uncle named Teddy Stevens. They got a little gym over. I think it's Chosen Hoops.
Okay. Yes. I was going to work with Tedrick to take them to China before COVID.
Right.
That's a very positive young man.
Right.
Extremely positive young man. Yeah, I
that's
know
his
that.
uncle.
Yeah. So COVID broke out, and that just threw off everything.
Right.
I got another invitation to go back to China in May 5th through 27th this year. Got an invitation to do a 10-city tour. And then we also got an invitation to go to India this year too. And what's that? Is it May? Yeah, May 17th through August 5th to go to India, go to Mumbai, New Delhi, Hyderabad, and play some of these teams over there. So yeah, international affair.
When you going to India, man, we need to go over there, Dre.
What age level are you coaching?
This is our pro, men's
okay.
pro,
Okay,
men's pro.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm not just saying it. Like seriously,
I need to know experience.
that's a place I haven't went. I would like to go. I actually been to China. I want to go to India.
You know, I went to India. It was really, really hot, man. It was extremely hot. And I went to KFC every day because I didn't want to eat the curry. You know, I stayed with a really nice host family, had a nice compound. Everything was cool. The food was good. But every day I was like, hey, can we go to KFC? And they they don't have no steak because of the cow. You know,
Right.
the cow is worship. So that was an interesting 14 days. I got to get my palate straight before I get ready. That's the thing when you travel, man. You got to get ready for that food,
steak.
man.
You right. They ain't got no steak.
There you go. I'm looking for Outback.
Yeah.
I can do without that. What was the local dish there? I know a lot of curry, a lot of rice.
A lot of curry rice, the chicken, and I just
The
had a lot
goat.
of chicken. I had a lot of chicken. Yeah,
Hmm.
had a lot of chicken.
Yes, I'd have been cool with that. I only need the chicken. Give me the rice and the stew. Like
Healthy ass.
I'm just saying I
Need
wouldn't even need
steak.
that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I can survive,
baby.
man.
You can survive.
I can survive.
14 days, you can do anything, huh?
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
without question. To God be the glory.
To God, I was just gonna say, you know what?
That's right.
Yeah, Dre, you done been through some things. I'm sure 14 days
Yeah,
you can make it
14
through.
days.
I got
Definitely.
confidence in you.
Definitely,
I definitely got confidence in you, man.
definitely. Did we miss anything?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's right. You knew the homie George Floyd. I knew George. So what tell us a little bit about your relationship with George, man.
So you know,
R.I.P. George.
Yeah, that's right. R.I.P. Big Floyd. That kind of goes back when I was in high school. So you know, Floyd was at Yates. I went to Lamar, and you know, one of my boys hooped for Worthing, and he was always in Third Ward. And he was that's who really was cool with Floyd first. My boy Mike Riggs, and I had the car. We used to always go pick up Riggs. We used to go hoop some McGregor Park, Nettleton Park. We always going to hoop. So he's like, man, let's go get Floyd. Let's go get this big man. And that's how I met him. We go pick up Floyd. We go hoop. U of H outdoor court.
I remember those days.
Yeah,
Like,
U of
going
H.
hoop.
Yeah,
I
pick up.
remember those days.
We got about $3 each and just rolling around
Right.
going to hoop. And
Gonna have a full day on them $3.
that's right. Full day. Justin Robinson, we hooping everywhere. So you know, we went to college. We all played in college. So when I started doing the touring team, taking guys, I got a bunch of contracts to go play colleges in preseason games. It was '98, and Floyd came and hooped. Like, yeah, I'm still trying to play. So Floyd came. He brought another one of my partners from Third Ward, Monkey Do. And
Monkey Do.
You know Do?
No, I don't know Monkey
my
Do.
boy
That's a
Do.
hell of a name.
What's up, Monkey Do? What's up, dude?
Monkey Do. That's a hell of a
That's my
name.
boy
All
Do.
right.
So
Monkey Do.
him
Too
and
many of them
Do.
running around. I can't miss him. Shout out to Monkey Dude, man.
Hey, I tell you what, them boys are Third Ward Twin Towers, though. Third
Yeah.
Ward Twin Towers. And so Floyd came, he averaged by 18 and 11 a game.
Mhm.
Okay, that's
Floyd
dope.
was a serious baller. And
What year did you come out? What year you come out?
I came out of high school in 92.
92. Okay.
Yeah. So Floyd used to bring all them boys from Third Ward. Everybody that he thought, like, could hoop. Because he saw what we was doing. We going to play different JUCOs, different small schools. Like, maybe one of these cats could get on. Like, hey, White, I got something for you, man. Say, White, hey, man. Brandon, you know Floyd's Floyd.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, he come on, I bump into him around. But after I went to China, I really didn't just keep him Floyd with that so much. I was in China most time. I might
Facts.
bump into Floyd every now and then, or I had another homeboy that talked to him a lot, and then just when that happened that day, I was like, whoa. And, I guess Lil Wu, his cousin that is really close to him, right? That's who coordinated everything when the tragedy happened.
Mhm.
And that's kind of how I got pulled into that. Like, we would like you to come say some things on, just, kind of talk from that standpoint, because he really liked being a part of To God Be the Glory. And, it's
Definitely important.
it's been one of the things that still kind of get me. Like, even right now we talking about it. I think it's been so much that's happened in the world since George Floyd, but just the energy of that moment, it still haven't left me. And I know it's left a lot of people, because been so much that happened, right? I had so much people, everybody, it just seemed like that was the all the protests, like a lot of that energy has left,
Right.
but it's still fresh in me, because that was something, I knew the heart of that person.
R.I.P. Big George
Yeah,
Floyd, man.
Big Floyd.
May your legacy live on. and may we, get over, this injustice with police officers. And for me, I'm mindful about when I say stuff like that, because I think it's like the bond system. I think we have to be fair. So most police officers are good police officers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think when you have a couple of rogue police officers, we can't, just magnify that and just consistently just put the spotlight. Well, I'm not gonna say not put the spotlight, but magnify that to the point where you tarnish the whole, the entire police department all over the world and all over the country. And at the same time, when one of you young dudes killing each other, another black man killing another black man, which is an everyday occurrence, we can't be silent on that and act like that's not the real problem.
Correct.
Because what happened to George Floyd is a rare thing, but we magnify it. Let's talk about sometime. We're gonna have to put more emphasis on what's going on with our youth killing each other at an alarming rate over and over, and us not having any conflict resolution skills to be able to sit down and have a conversation before we want to take somebody's life.
Man, you're right about that, because, and I look at the situation like, I think about all of the different nationalities and people that reached out to me to say, hey, what do you want to do with the George Floyd Memorial Project, and how can we be a part of that? And these were not just black people. These are all different types of races from people. I had people from the UK, but when you start seeing, like you say, these continual black on black incidents, it kind of ruins the credibility of the movement.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's hard to keep that, maintain momentum, because you're getting this outside support. And now they're looking at you like, well, Cyril, I thought you wanted to work to solve the problem of unifying police officers and citizens through sports. That's what I thought you said you want. But it seems like that there are bigger problems than just the police officers. Right. So that's really been my experience post George Floyd.
Whether it's a problem, that be the excuse that people use to be like, hey, that's just my opinion.
I'm with you.
I mean, it's an easy excuse, right? Like, what I'm saying, because people are doing some of these things for a lot of reasons. Like, what I'm saying, the economic difference in some of these communities is
we failed.
You know what I mean? Like,
our generation
it's much bigger than, yeah, black on black crime is definitely an alarming problem. Like,
yes, sir.
Facts, without question. But also, black poverty is a very alarming problem.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? We tend we see the violence, but look where the violence is being done.
From. Yeah.
Look how the police those areas. You know what I'm saying? To get some of those George Floyd situations. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They're not pulling up to the good areas and just, hey man, let me see this, let me see. They're not investigating.
ID. Yeah.
Ain't nobody call y'all. Y'all just out here doing y'all thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot. It's a lot go into that. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot go into that.
So let me say this real quickly, because even though I'm saying black on black crime, what a lot of people don't realize on that, if you take a look, Mexicans kill Mexicans, whites kill whites, and blacks kill blacks. And the reason that is, we normally mad at the person we hanging out with. We ain't
That's
just
facts. No, you're
so
right.
we normally we normally are culturally divided. So Lonnie probably the one who gonna piss me off the most. I ain't gonna kill you, I love you. But you sitting there, what the other question you have that you need us to ask? Because you just sitting there keep trying to get it in. What is it, my brother?
Oh my God.
Say what, brother?
What's coming up next?
All right. Okay. Yeah. So
that's Vlad.
And
Even more than black.
I like it.
Vlad.
So
I like Vlad.
Man, Vlad tough. Vlad put the blueprint in, so it is what it is. Go ahead.
LG, baby.
But let me cut y'all.
No, we good.
When you sit in Vlad's chat and Vlad trying to ask you some stuff like, hey man, you know not to answer today, Vlad. I don't want to talk about that. Vlad, edit that. I don't want that. Don't say it, period.
Yeah, you know what I was finna say, man? I don't know where it came from, but just act like Mucky do.
Dude! Nah, dude.
I don't know what that is.
That's my boy. He gonna love seeing this.
Mucky dude.
I'm the guy that I don't like to blame people for shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like accountable people. Be accountable for your actions. If you said that shit on camera for somebody else to see it, or you took a picture on camera for somebody else to see it, fuck who retweeted it, fuck who reposted it.
Just own it.
He owned it. You did that. You did that.
All you youngsters and old ones, all you dummies sitting here putting all this stuff on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and sitting in the courtroom while they playing it back. You did that.
Did it.
You did
You
that.
locked you up.
I ain't gonna lock you up, man. I ain't gonna lock you. I'm gonna. You say you want me to tell you what's going on for the rest of the year?
Yeah, let's go. What's going on with God be the
So
glory,
to
man?
God be the glory for the rest. So right
Hold
now,
on,
I
we
told
don't want
you,
them locked up either. I'm just saying they locking themselves up. So that's on them. It ain't on me. That's on them. I wish you well, brothers.
Nah, we got
And
the
sisters.
we got the ABA team going on right now. So I told you we're gonna keep the ABA going. We got about 7 more games. We play here in Texas City. We play at the World Gym in Texas City, actually, out in Texas City. And the rest of the games on the road, like we playing around San Antonio, Austin, Killeen. That's what most of the teams in our region for this ABA. And that'll keep me pretty busy here locally. But I really pumping these name, image, and likeness sales right now for my 2 NCAA basketball players. March Madness is going to be coming up. The NCAA Final Four is coming here to Houston.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
to God be the glory. We have a booth inside of the convention center. So
I think we got an invite to the
kickoff thing or something.
the kickoff thing. No, it's not that. It's the playoffs for the HBCU playoffs. I think
Oh
that's it.
yeah, they got HBCU All-Star game.
Yeah, All-Star game. That's what it is. Yeah,
yeah.
we got an invite to that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
Travis.
another invite to the God be the glory thing too.
Yeah,
So appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Come by the booth. Come check out the
No,
balls.
no, we don't want to come back. We want to be in the booth. See, listen, let me tell y'all
Boy, I'm
something.
trying to go live at the
Listen,
booth with
man.
the podcast.
So y'all understand. Do not take a gamble and try to finesse things. Ask directly. So can we come in your booth?
Hey, we probably can do a 1-hour shoot in the booth for sure.
Hey,
We can go live. That'll
ask
be
for what
great.
you want.
Live
man.
from the NCAA Final Four 2023. C.
Yes,
White
sir.
with the Dre and Cole show.
Hey, and let's do that. And so let me tell y'all what happened too, man. Like we had 2 Instagram pages hacked.
Oh man.
It's almost like we starting over right now, but we just gotta connect the dots back up so we can get our views back up. It's just coming. But we appreciate all you guys who still supporting us, even though we're not being able to connect it all the way around like we had. So we working on getting that back together.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. And then after we do that, the NCAA thing is in April. Like I said, we're gonna be getting ready to go to that China tour in May, and come back and back door and get ready to hit India in July. And by that time it ought to be time for school to start again. So we'll be right back NIL. It's one of the type of things where I wanted to keep myself busy since I wasn't going back and forth to China, but I also didn't want to just try to put so much on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely wanted to keep all stuff where it could be managed, and I think the way we got these tours spaced out, that'll be enough time to put together some quality teams and get some rest in between.
Look at that, man. The poet and didn't know it. He can put some quality teams, get some rest in between.
Look at
Go
that.
ahead, go on, give us 16.
That did rhyme,
Hey,
didn't
man,
it?
yeah, give us 16, man. Go on, give us 16, man.
That's the Southside flow.
16.
You don't know, 16 bars, man.
You got a
16.
video on YouTube.
Oh, you saw the video, swinging and poking?
Swinging.
Oh my God!
Go
you
on, break
saw
it down.
that? You
We getting ready.
saw
We
that?
getting ready to wrap this up.
You
So go
saw-
ahead.
you saw
Hit us
that.
up with swinging.
I
Our
cannot
producer
believe he
do his
saw that.
homework, man.
Do his homework.
You saw swinging and poking. So swinging and poking is leave the door open. It's like a parody song
Right.
I made with this guy, this local singer T Dash. Y'all know T Dash?
I don't know.
T Dash pretty hot. He's got a little local.
I heard of
buzz
T
going.
Dash.
T Dash is good. Yeah, he's TikTok, YouTube sensation, and
Lime green town car.
yeah. It was we
Break 'em
rewrote the words to leave the door open to swinging and poking like a slab song.
Right. Oh wow.
So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, you man, golly, man.
Work, LG.
You saw
God.
the break apart?
Yeah. Look at that. Come on, man. I can't hide out here.
Boy, you tough.
C. White, the Chinese Negro, is on the loose in Houston, baby.
Chinese
Ni hao,
Negro.
woda megwo pungyo. Hello, my American friends. Y'all gonna have to learn that one,
Say it
man.
again.
Ni hao, woda megwo pungyo.
Well, the
Ni hao,
Mego
Pongo.
Pongo.
Oh, look at you.
You still have your gym?
Y'all ready to go? So right now the gym is converted to a church. We converted that gym to a church in
Okay.
2017. Iglesia Bautista Nueva. So y'all know who is the demographic of that church.
Of course.
But 22,400 square feet. I originally built it as a gym, ran it as a gym for 8 years, and then got that church tenant. So it's been all good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. To God be the glory.
To God be the glory, man. We appreciate you coming
Man, I
by,
appreciate
man.
y'all,
You're always
man.
welcome,
No doubt,
man.
no doubt. For
Thank
real.
you very
And you brought
much for
gifts.
coming by, man.
Yes, sir.
And
No
you
doubt.
brought
Yes,
gifts.
sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm serious. We need to look at that India thing, though, Dre.
Where
Like,
can
I'll
the
give
seriously.
people
y'all the
find you?
info. I'll give y'all the info.
Yeah.
Y'all be sure to go to tgbtgsports.com. You can follow me on Instagram at tgbtg_sports. And hey, man, it's been a great pleasure, man. Y'all check me out. It's all good.
Y'all can follow us on Instagram at
The Cole and Dre, Cole_Dre_podcast on Instagram. Cole_Dre_podcast. On
That's too
Instagram.
much shit, Dre.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
like, it need to be straight.
We done lost
Hey,
two
y'all can
pages, though.
follow
We
me
keeping this
too.
one.
Now, I actually made a post. I got 2 of them that I made, but I'm finna really be posting because what I'm doing now, Dre, I figured it out.
What was your first post?
I posted my wife.
You did.
Yes, that was my first post. You know what? I just put baby up. You know what I mean? Because, you know, women have this little thing that be going on. If he can't post you, y'all ain't supposed to be together. Well, I didn't post shit. So it had nothing to do with you. But, baby, I love you. I post, you know what I'm saying? All good. We ain't going to do no tripping. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I mean? I'm not. We good, right? So, you know, but now I got to start posting the show. So, Travis, I need you to give me all those shorts. And line it, you know, not just the pictures, the actual shorts, so I can make sure I'm reposting on my side, man. But go ahead.
She was checking you out on the live too.
Is that right? Baby was checking me out on live. Hey, girl,
Hey,
what's going on, baby? You all right? Y'all support my wife over there. She got a few tax offices. One over there on Broadway. But she got
right by the gym.
Yeah,
She right by the gym.
she got about 30 of them. So I can't even name all of your stuff, but right now, you know, hey, I'm proud of you, girl. I'm a fan of good work, and I'm a fan of yours. You're working real clean. You know that, right? All right. So with all that being said, man, thank you very much for coming out, Cyril.
Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
Man, we enjoyed having you.
No doubt.
And you always welcome back, man. Anything
Appreciate
we
it.
can do, obviously, I can assure you, you'll see the growth in the show this year. So we'll be a good outlet
So how
for
you
you.
look at the phone?
We locked in, baby. We locked
So all
in.
good, man.
No doubt.
Thank
no
y'all
doubt.
for tuning
No
into the
doubt.
Cole and Dre
Appreciate it,
podcast.
man.
I'm Cole,
And this is straight. We out.
and we out. Peace.
Y'all
Man,
next
you gotta
time.
see the man behind the camera.
Hey, man, what time it is, man? Hey, relentless, hey, relentless, hey, hey. Hey, Cole, boss straight, 2 mother, watch them out. No count, all facts like what you talking about. Boy, listen and pay attention to what we talking about. We can show you how to make 100,000 in the drop.